Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big ideas. Today, we're diving into the one question that was on everyone's mind at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Is artificial intelligence going to be a job creator or a job destroyer? Let's get into it. All right, let's just start with the most dramatic warning we heard. The head of the IMF literally called AI a tsunami for the labor market. She's not talking about some gentle ripple of change here. She's describing a massive force of nature that could completely reshape how we all work, all across the globe. And that's because this isn't some simple story of progress. The entire debate at Davos basically split down the middle, creating two totally competing visions for our future. One is a future of incredible creation, and the other? Well, it's a vision of catastrophic destruction. So on one side, you have this solar punk vision of the world. Think of a utopia, really, where AI helps us all become more creative and prosperous. But on the other side, you've got this dark, cyberpunk warning, a future defined by mass unemployment and deep social inequality. So let's start with the good news, the case for optimism. So the folks in this camp, they don't see AI as some kind of robot replacement for humans. No, not at all. They see it as a powerful collaborator. The argument is that it's going to unlock unbelievable growth and create whole new types of jobs. Roles like AI prompt engineers or data storytellers that literally didn't even exist a couple of years ago. And look, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky prediction for the future. This is happening right now. We've got hard data from LinkedIn showing these new-collar jobs popping up. And these are roles that mix high-tech skills with things that are uniquely human, like creative strategy and communication. AI is also just handing the keys to a whole new generation of entrepreneurs. I mean, think about it. The cost and complexity of starting a company are dropping like a rock because of these tools. And the result? We're seeing this explosion of people launching their own businesses, letting tiny teams or even just one person do things that used to require a huge corporation. And you might think this boom is just for software engineers, right? Well, the demand for AI requires this massive physical build-out. The CEO of NVIDIA puts it perfectly. He says it's creating a renaissance for blue-collar jobs. We're talking about electricians and technicians pulling in six-figure salaries just to build and maintain the thousands of data centers that power this whole revolution. Okay, so that's the optimistic take. But now we have to look at the other side of the coin. This is the cyberpunk warning. This is the fear that the AI tsunami hits land before we even have time to build the life rafts.
You really can't get more blunt than that, can you? This assessment from one of the most powerful bankers on the planet gets right to the heart of the fear. This time, it's different. This isn't just automating factory work. It's automating thinking, cognitive tasks, at a speed and scale that humanity has just never, ever seen before.
And the IMF's own analysis shows you the incredible scale of this disruption. 40% of all jobs on the planet are exposed to AI. But look closer at that chart. In advanced economies like the US and Europe, that number jumps to a staggering 60%. 60% of the entire workforce is facing either a massive transformation or just outright elimination. But the problem isn't just job loss in general. It's the kind of jobs that are disappearing. There's this new phrase that kept coming up at Davos, the cognitive waterline. As AI gets better at doing routine, entry-level work, basic analysis, admin stuff, that waterline is rising. And it's basically washing away the first rung of the career ladder. And this isn't just a theory. The data from the UK shows the brutal reality that young people are facing today. You have over 1 million graduates fighting for just 17,000 positions. Just let that sink in for a second. How is anyone supposed to start a career when the front door is basically being sealed shut? So we've got these two extreme futures. It's either utopia or dystopia. But the reality, right now, on the ground, it's way more complicated and messy. It's not one or the other. It's a bunch of uncomfortable paradoxes that leaders are really struggling with. And this right here is the central contradiction. It's a huge headache. You've got nearly every company out there saying they desperately need people with AI skills and can't find them, yet at the same time, almost half of those same companies are planning layoffs because of AI. It's this high-speed mismatch where old jobs are disappearing way faster than we can retrain people for the new ones. And honestly, it gets worse. Get this. Companies invested a colossal $1.5 trillion in AI last year. And for what? Well, a PwC survey revealed that the majority of CEOs, 56%, say they are getting nothing from all that spending. That points to a really deep systemic problem in how this tech is actually being rolled out. So why the terrible return on investment? Well, this quote from the CEO of Philips really nails it. Companies are just bolting AI onto their old ways of doing things instead of totally redesigning how work gets done around this new human-AI collaboration. The failure isn't the technology, it's a failure of imagination.
Okay, so if the current approach is failing so badly, what's the path forward? Well, the conversation at Davos finally started to shift away from just describing the problem and towards outlining a new industrial-scale strategy to actually navigate this thing. So first, we have to start thinking about AI differently. It isn't just software you buy off a shelf. It's this full industrial stack with huge physical demands. And right now, the single biggest bottleneck for the entire revolution is at the very bottom of that stack: energy. Our power grids just cannot keep up with how much electricity AI needs.
This new reality demands a completely new playbook. It means companies have to redesign work from the ground up. They have to invest in massive, continuous reskilling programs. They need to build their own intelligence, what people are calling corporate AI sovereignty, and they have to work with governments to create new safety nets for society.
And this brings us to the most important takeaway from Davos. The outcome of this whole thing, whether it leads to prosperity or chaos, it's not set in stone. That AI tsunami, it isn't some force of nature we're powerless against. It's a force we can actually choose to steer.
So, the choice between that solar-punk future of progress and the cyberpunk future of displacement, well, it all comes down to the decisions that we're making right now, today. The technology is here. The future is ours to build. Thanks for joining this explainer.